555, number 21. Says evaluate the sum.
Can we do yellow? Purple.
Yellow.
Can we do yellow?
No.
I love yellow.
No.
Or we use purple forever. Can we do blue? Can we do brown?
It's blue.
Can we do brown? Or blue? Brown.
Okay, I'll switch next problem, okay?
Green. Yes. Purple. Brown. Dark brown.
We'll keep switching, alright? Okay, so sigma means we're supposed to do the sum of these things. So we have two formulas that you don't have to memorize. One of them is a geometric series formula for the sum of a geometric series, and the other one is the sum of an arithmetic series. So the geometric series I wrote over there, I'll write it up here again for the YouTube. But to kind of figure out what's going on in this series, how do I figure out what numbers are inside of this? Plug it in. So plug in 1 to start with, so 4 times 1 minus 7. Okay, sigma means these are sums, or they're called series also. So -3 plus, if I plug in 2, 4 times 2 minus 7, positive 1. And then if I plug in 3, 4 times 3 minus 7 is 5. Okay, this is probably enough. It keeps going, but all the way to 25. But that would take a long time. We're just going to use the formula instead. What is the pattern though? Plus 4. Because when you do 4 times k, it just goes up by 4 every time. So the pattern is plus 4. We call that the common difference. We're going to need that for the formula. Okay, geometric series. Is this the geometric or arithmetic series actually? Arithmetic, because we're adding 4. And the arithmetic series, you might have forgot, but it was this. You do not have to have this memorized, but you do have to know how and when to use it. So on the board, I will have like sum of an arithmetic series. So I'll give you that part, but you need to know what an arithmetic series is. You need to know what n is. You need to know what a sub 1 and a sub n is. You need to know how to use it. Okay, what does n stand for, by the way? Number of terms. So in this case, it is 1 to 25, so it's 25. So it's 25 over 2. What's a sub 1 stand for?
The first.
First one, means the first term. So that would be -3 plus what's a sub n stand for?
So the last one.
Yeah, because n is like 25, that's the number that we're adding. So a sub 25 or the last term in the series. So how do we find the 25th term? Well, there's actually a couple ways. We could start with -3 and add 4. How many times would we have to add 4? 24 times. Or on this one, and this would give it to us. That would do it. Or we could just plug in k as 25 right there. That would also work in this case. 4 times. And it's like 93. Okay, either this way or this way should give you 93. That's the last term. And like 45 times 20. What is that? Like 1125 if I remember right. Yeah. Okay, that's it. Any questions on that? Okay, we will need this formula later, so you might want to take a note.
Okay, so I did the report card right, and I tried to start my so I got there, and then I realized I just didn't want to do that. I should have done this in pen. So I asked the people, should I have done this in pen? And they're like, yeah, you should have done it in pen. So I redid it all in pen, but there was no eraser, and I was like running out of time, so I did it all in pen. But the pen and pencil overlapped that, so you couldn't really read it. But they're like, we don't have any time, so they took the pen from me and they gave it to the parents, and the parents could barely read it.
That's embarrassing. That's actually good.
So anyway,
That's.
but today, yesterday was the last day of the session, and then next week we're starting a new session and I'm doing it all alone. But I won't make 650 an hour anymore. Whoa! Oh my gosh! And I pulled in to the.
Okay. On this one, okay, it's kind of pretty similar idea. This one is kind of tricky because we're not starting with k equals 1, which will make this have a little bit of a trick question, but I'll help. But anyways, how do I figure out what the series is going to be? I'm going to start by plugging in k is 3. So negative 2 to the third, negative 8 times 3 is negative 24. I'm going to plug in k is 4, is the next one. Negative 2 to the fourth is 16. 16 times 3 is 48. And I'm going to plug in 5. I'll do one more. Negative 2 to the fifth. Anyway, it's like minus 96. Okay. What is the pattern? How are we getting from there to times negative 2? It's kind of right there. It's kind of inside the formula is, there's a reason it's times negative 2 and it's right there. So that would be the common ratio times negative 2. So if it's multiplying by negative 2, it's a what kind of series? Geometric, which means we're going to use this formula over here. Okay, I'm going to write it on the smart board so that you can see it. On YouTube, geometric series.
Okay, so I pulled in, so I pulled into the driveway, and there was a red car next to me, and it was like a really fancy red car. And I looked in the car, and it's Caden. And
she sent me a voice recording about this.
Okay, but it was Caden, and he was blasting music. Okay, I have no clue why he was blasting music down that, but he's one of the people blasting music, and I'm like, okay, Mom, why do you park next to the person blasting music? So I get out, and I see Caden, and I'm like, wow, Caden's here. Anyway, it's really awkward, and then he gets out of the car, and he's like, isn't that like baby voice he had? He's on the Conoco too. What do you say? You go to Conoco too? And I was like, why would I go to and then it turns out he was going to the gym and my mom was also going to the gym. So Kaden and my mom like kind of worked out together. like a few feet away from each other, I guess. And that's the story.
Did she make a comment on his ears? Okay.
Well,
What is a sub 1 on this problem?
What is story? 3. 2. I don't know.
It's the first term.
Negative 24.
Negative 24.
You're ugly.
Okay. Shh. All right, girls. Okay. What is R on this problem?
negative 2.
Negative 2. It's the thing that's getting multiplied over and over again. To get this one right, you're going to have to put negative 2 in parentheses because we need to do all that to this exponent. Okay, what is n on this? This is where this one gets tricky. Okay, it's actually not 10.
7.
Now, it normally would be 10 if k was 1. Then 10 would be the right thing. But it's not 7. It's close to 7 now.
Okay.
Because if you go 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, I should have been showing that. That's actually 8 terms. So, because you got to count 3 itself. So, like if you're going from 1 to 10, that's not 9 terms, that's actually 10 terms. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all the way to 10. So anyway, that makes this one, and there's another one like this, a little bit trickier. There's actually 8 terms from 3 to 10, because you're counting 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So n is 8. I'm not going to put that trick on the test, but I won't put that one on there, but like 21, this will be on there, okay? So they're not too far off. This one just is a little bit trickier because it starts on 3.
You should just not put
It's happening, probably next Friday actually. Okay, and then right here, it's 1 minus negative 2. Tuesday's going to be kind of screwed up because the ACT. But I'll probably just give you guys worksheets and stuff.
Your parents are actually good to there. Like, I could guess. I'm not gonna, but I could.
my parents are probably gonna make me do a class.
Your parents are probably gonna like force you to do it, like, crap
My
out.
parents made me do a class when it's me.
2, 4, 8, 16, 256.
Like I did it like last week. You're not gonna do like that. That you're graduating soon.
All right.
Oh, that's.
Did I plug that in? Probably not.
2056.
What a smart girl. I love
Is that right?
No,
Did you just say right?
it's really close though.
No.
Did you just guess?
God.
That was like extremely close. How did you guess
Did
that?
you guess?
No, what?
She definitely put it in just got wrong.
Oh.
I did. Guys, don't believe me.
It's 2040, it says.
Bro, what? I thought it was flash out. Just tweaking, actually.
You're big because you're only watching. Well, not that you would like. So is this gonna be due Monday? No.
Yes. All right, it's 25, so let's get as much done as we can. All right.
Finish the sentence. Whatever you do, work at it with all your heart. Yay!
He
Are
hates
you,
you.
Oh. We asked if
are you quoting something on the wall or something?
No, I'm not. Okay, put this on.
Personally,
It's much easier to get into things than to get.
Out of them?
Yeah! Good job.
honestly, John was right. I'm really disappointed. I thought it'd be so bad.
It used to be JJ. Beautiful
That's
photo of
JJ.
JJ. And they ruined it. Just kidding. Raccoons are cute, so it's okay.
That's hilarious.
We improved upon it. I commissioned Carolyn to make him into a raccoon.
Did you pay her? Huh?
No.
I could do something. Yeah.
Okay,
No, I
so
make it all
on number 25, it says the following are arithmetic sequences. So what does arithmetic mean? They're adding the same value over and over. So we need to figure out what they're adding over and over. So how do we figure out what they're adding? Okay, if I do the difference between these two, 40 minus 20, or sorry, 40 minus 12 is 28. Okay, why would we divide that by 4?
Yes, decline.
Because there's 4 terms from here to here. So that means they must have added something 4 times. So the difference is 28. If you divide that by 4, that gives you what they must have been adding every time. So the common difference is 7. So how do we, if the 7th term is 40, how do we get to the 57th term?
7 times 50.
Right.
49.
No, you're
50. I
yeah,
knew it.
you're right
Hey.
the first time. Yeah, you would add 7 to 40 50 times. Because between 7 and 57, that's 50 steps to get there. So, yeah, it would be 50 times. That is 350 plus 40, so that would be 390.
What is the first?
I should just ban you from talking.
Sorry.
All right.
Oh.
27. So this is a different question. What's different about this question and this question?
This is thinking serious.
What does S stand for? It means the sum of a series. So it's not asking us what the 15th term is, like this one was. It's asking us what are the sum of the first 15 terms. So if this is an arithmetic series, we're going to use the arithmetic formula. You guys remember the arithmetic formula I had from earlier? Was this one?
Yeah.
Some of you might have taken good notes on that. Okay. Anyway, we need the sum of the first 15. So that means we need some different stuff. We need how many terms are we adding? Well, 15. We need the first term and the last term. Okay, the other thing that it tells us is a sub 4 is negative 24.
You said you were changing the color a long time ago.
I forgot. All right. And what's the other one? I lost my place. Oh, d equals negative 2. Okay, what does d equals negative 2 mean?
Goes down.
Common difference is negative 2. So they're adding negative 2, or you could say subtracting 2 every time. So A sub 4 means the fourth term is negative 24. If the pattern is minus 2, how do I figure out what the first term is? Right. If you subtract 2 to go this way, you would have to add 2 to go back. So you'd have to do plus 2, plus 2, plus 2, or plus 6, which would be negative 18. Okay, that's the first term. We needed that for that number right there. We also need the last term, which would be the 15th term. So if the fourth term is negative 24, how do I get to the 15th term? I subtract 2. How many times? From 4 to 15, how many steps away is that? 11. So I'd have to do that 11 times. Dot, dot, dot. So this would be negative 22 minus 24 is negative 46. Okay, so now we have all the stuff we need to plug into the formula. You could do this a very long way, and I would not count it wrong. Like you could just find all of these numbers, like all 15 of them, and just add them all together. Or subtract them, I guess you could say. It would just take a long time, but you could do it that way. As long as you get the right answer, I'm not
So
going to count it
if
wrong.
we do it that way, do we not have to show work?
Speaking of that, I graded all your papers, and some of you I took points off for not showing work on one of the pages. Okay.
Was that me?
No, you did. Of course you asked, and anyways. So the n is, how many terms are we adding? 15. So it's 15 divided by 2. First term is negative 18.
Negative 40. Is that right?
Hmm?
Never mind.
What is the first thing that people like about you?
Be quiet.
Whoa!
Okay, negative 480. Is that what you said? Negative
Yeah.
480?
And she stared at me like I was stupid. Don't say anything about that.
All right, 29. A sub 8. Oh, 28. Okay, I did this one with the other class, but probably, girls, probably wasn't worth it. So we'll just, you guys can skip 28.
Yay!
Yay!
It's a lot of work, you can put it that way. And I didn't assign one like that on the homework, so it's okay.
You are a kind soul.
29. Okay, on 29, it's kind of the same as what we're just doing, but this time it says these are geometric sequences. So we're supposed to find a sub 8 if a sub 1 is 7 and r equals negative 2. Okay, what does r equals negative 2 mean?
That's how many is away. The difference. Nope, I lied. This is
Geometric, it means that's what we're multiplying by.
Duh.
So how do I get to from the first term? How do I get from the first term to the 8th term? Multiply by negative 2 7 times. Okay. Now, you can do 7 times negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2. But what's the easier way to dot, dot, dot? Right. It would be an exponent. If you want to multiply by negative 2 7 times, that'd be negative 2 to the 7th.
What was that face? I'm sorry, I'm really bored.
Where do you see your mouth? What's your favorite dessert?
All right. Okay, 31 is is actually like 28, the hard one that I skipped. So I'm going to skip 31, but I'm also going to help you guys with 32 because that was kind of hard as well. Okay, so let's look at 32. 32 is kind of like 27 because we're supposed to find the sum of the first 15 terms. Okay, the only one you're going to skip is 28. And I just skipped 31, yeah. Okay, so the directions tell us it's a geometric series, so that means we're going to need, and this tells me to find the sum of the series for the first 15 terms. So we're going to need that formula that we've been using on geometric series. Okay, now this means we need the first term. So if a sub 4 is 108, how do I figure out what the first term is? Divide by 3. How many times?
2, 3.
3 times. To get from 4 to 1, so 108 is the fourth term. And the pattern is times 3. So if you want to go backwards, you're going to have to divide by 3 times. Or multiply by 1/3 3 times, you could say. But yeah, it'd be like 108 divided by 3 to the third.
Is it 4?
It is 4.
You are the smartest girl I've ever met.
Did you just call me an idiot earlier?
She's bipolar.
Yeah, I know.
But you have to sign
Is it like in the
You both are.
what? 28
You
million?
are definitely.
It's like your ball.
Oh, okay.
Lift up those veins. Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so that's the first term, so that'll go right there, 4.
Oh, okay.
Okay, what's the common ratio? They just told us it was 3. So that goes right there. What's the number of terms that we're adding? 15. That's what they told us right there. And so that would be it. It's not too bad, right? Maybe I should have made you guys do that one.
No.
Okay, you can finish it off.
Is it 8 million? Is it a big million? Not million. Big number. Big number?
32 is, yeah, it's in the million, 10 millions actually.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, I can finally watch TV tonight. I have had to skip my TV time for 2 nights in a row.
You know what? You need to wake up early tomorrow anyway.
All right. So on 33 through 36, it's asking, does this series converge or diverge? If it converges, find it. So let me remind you what we talked about. I don't remember what day this was, but okay, this is for infinite geometric series that keep adding numbers towards infinity. For example, 4 plus 2 plus 1 plus a half plus towards infinity. Does this converge? What is the common ratio on this one? How do you get from 4 to 2? Divide by 2 or multiply by a half. So remember, if you want to find the common ratio, you know if it's a geometric series, you do 2 divided by 4 is a half. Okay, if the common ratio is less than 1 and greater than -1, so if it's like a half or negative a half, then it's going to converge. This sum, even though you're adding infinite numbers, is not going to go up infinitely. It's actually going to level off. Okay, if this is true, if it's a fraction. So what is it going to level off to? Well, there was one more little formula. We got like 3 formulas all together. For an infinite geometric series, it's a really tiny formula. It's just this. Okay, if it converges, this will tell you what it converges to. if r is not less than 1 or greater than -1, if it's like 2 or 3 or 4. So for example, if we had this series, 1 plus 4 plus 8 plus da 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 da. If we keep adding these numbers together, it's just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger forever, ever and ever. It's not going to approach a number. So this would be diverges because r is 2. Okay, diverges. This one converges. And what it converges to is like 8.
So is that formula only for infinite?
This is only for infinite geometric series, and it only works if the ratio is less than 1. Okay, the other geometric series formula we used is just for a limited number of terms added together. Okay. This part's not too bad. 6, 3, 3/2. All right, so what we need is, what is the common ratio? Like, how do I get from 6 to 3? Divide by 2 or multiply by 1/2. Kind of like my example, right? 1/2 is a popular fraction. So if it's less than 1, that means it will converge. Even if you add an infinite number together, because the numbers that you're adding are getting tinier and tinier. Anyway, what does it converge to? That's where this guy comes in. So a sub 1, the first term is 6, over 1 minus the common ratio, which is 1/2. 6 divided, 1 minus 1/2 is 1/2. 6 divided by 1/2 is like 6 times 2 is 12. Okay, so that gives us 3 formulas altogether: arithmetic series formula, geometric series, and an infinite geometric series. Those will be provided, but you got to know how, when to use them. That's the tricky part, I guess. 35, back to sigma. K equals 1 to infinity. Five fourths. So let's plug in a few k values to figure out what's happening here. If I plug in k as 1, that'd be 5 fourths. If I plug in k as 2, 5 fourths squared would just square both of those, 25 sixteenths. If I plug in k as 3, you actually know math?
No.
No.
What do you think?
I thought maybe.
For once.
I thought you could do this one. I didn't think you would know that one that quickly. And I was right. So, what's the pattern here? What's the common ratio? If you do this divided by this, you'll just get 5 fourths. Because basically it's just multiplying 5 fourths over and over again. So the common ratio is 5 fourths. This divided by this is this. That's what's being multiplied by. Is this going to converge?
No.
No. Why not?
Because it's bigger than 1.
It's bigger than 1. It's too big. I don't know why I wrote that thing down there. It does not fit inside here. 5 fourths is also like 1 1/4. It's too big. So all we have to do on this one is actually just write diverges.
So, when 34 we diverge,
Did you find the R?
did I?
How do you get from 1/2 to -1/2?
Negative.
Times -1. Does that fit? No. It's just on the boundary, so it doesn't work. Yeah. All right. Sorry, this is kind of hard. We'll try to get it easy by the end of next week. As easy as we can.